morning. I would like to say a very big thank you to Waliu, who has been a friend, a mentee, a colleague, and someone that is shaping some very important dimensions in Nigeria. And this is a big, and I want to use this opportunity to really encourage him and to celebrate what he's doing. It takes guts to, thank you. I didn't clap for Wali actually. So it takes a lot of guts to do what Wali is doing presently, because Nigeria is a beautiful place. Very beautiful. Some of you who know me know that I'm a crazy Nigerian. I don't, no apology. But I also understand that Nigeria can be very challenging. So for someone young to take the bull by the horn and run with a vision like this, it needs all our support, everyone that is here. You don't have to do exactly what he's doing, but being part of what he's doing is also enlarging the coast. So thank you so much, Waliu. And I would like to thank everyone for being here. Special thanks to Honorable Prince Hakeem Dixon for showing up. This normally is not the kind of event you bring Dixon to. So for him to agree to be here, then it really means he attached some importance to this as well. And to Monica, to my brother Wale, and all of that people that are coming, they are all people that we know ourselves. So, and I think the least we can do is to continue to support something like this. So I'm very, very grateful for accepting to be here. All right, so my work is to set this conversation going today. So what I'm going to be speaking about will be very broad, but hopefully a lot of other speakers will be able to emphasize them, because I also saw some of the topics. And by the way, I need to get with Wali to know how these topics were crafted, because the topics were just something else, you know, to be honest. When I was going to start putting this together, I looked at the topic and said, young man, what exactly is this? And so I had to challenge one or two of my guys to also go dig for me. You know, I said, oh yeah, go and dig. This is what I think this topic is all about. So go dig in and come up with something. So I'm actually presenting the mind of so many people here right now that I have to talk to. And that's what it is, because you can't be the only embodiment of knowledge. You know, some of you, if given the chance, could even be here to do this better. And I acknowledge that. So a lot of my guys have to come together to put this together. So I'm just representing voices in order to make this communication reach as much as possible. Do I have to control you? Control for me. You control for me. Okay, so let's go to the next slide, please. All right, so quick agenda. I can't see very clearly from here, but I'll try. So, but that's the agenda. I'll look at the overview of the topic. Now we'll look at professionalism. Most of us here call ourselves professionalism. We call ourselves professionals. And so we'll see what that actually means. We're going to look at the trends, especially when it comes to the future of professionalism. What's going on? What's going on when it relates to sustainability? We look at, again, competence for future professionals. That's very key. That will be a very big part of what I'm going to drum in on, and how to position yourself for sustainability opportunities. And I think that's important. While you give me 30 minutes, so I'm assuming I spent like 5 minutes now. So please, somebody should monitor me and give me notes. Well, once it's about 10 minutes, let me know. Okay, so I don't keep all of us here today. All right, so understanding some key concepts. We all know this, so it's just to bring to our reminders, sustainability. I think if there's anybody who doesn't understand what sustainability means now, then it's a big deal. Especially if you are sitting here. If you are sitting here, you don't know what sustainability means, it's a big deal. Now, we are just a very minute fraction of the whole world, especially in Nigeria. So if you look at those who are in a formal setting like us, we are not very many in Nigeria. I think by indicators from NBS, that's Nigerian Board of Statistics and all of that, Bureau of Statistics, the people who are in the formal sector are actually less than 40%. So another 60 to 65% are in the informal. So those in the informal may not necessarily understand what sustainability is in this context, but we all should know this. So it's basically meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of my children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren to also meet their own needs. So let's talk about professionalism, which I know a lot of us call ourselves. I say it everywhere. Sometimes on fora, I change to being a practitioner, because there's also a little bit of a difference in that, being a professional or being a practitioner. So, but we're looking at professionalism now, commonly understood as an adherence to a set of standards, code of conduct, or collection of qualities that characterize accepted practice within a particular area of activity or profession. So as OSH people, environmental people, sustainability people, that is a niche area. So we can all call ourselves professionals. So I can tell someone that I'm a sustainability professional. If you get out of here, like some of our speakers that are coming today, Dr. Titilola, she will probably be a professional in the law field, now with a lot of emphasis and experience in health and safety, but she's still a lawyer. So you get to Kim Dixon, who is sitting here. I know his history a bit because we worked together when he was the DG of Lagos Safety Commission. For some of us who don't know him, he was at one point, I think his third DG of Lagos Safety Commission. So, in politics, but I also know that his background is in accounting. So, and then from there to safety, to politics, today to health and safety. So several cars being won at the same time. So you can tell yourself he's a political professional, because people don't understand that politicians are professionals. They are, because that is something people go to study. Don't worry that in Nigeria anybody can enter politics at any point in time. But in many places it's a profession. And then we have several other professions that we can mention here. Now, if you talk about professionalism, then it must have come from a very root word, profession. It comes from the word profession and then moves to people that, in that profession, becoming professional. So a professional is a member of a profession or any person who works in a specified professional activity. So if I tell somebody I'm being a professional, somebody says, no, you're not being professional in what you're doing. It simply says, that industry that you play, there are rules, code of conduct, ethics, standards, requirements that you need to obey before you say you are. So technically, you can actually be in OSH, but you're not a professional. That's what it means. So anytime you go out of the bounds of the rules, see adherence, the rules, the standards, the code of conduct, the qualities, the ethics, the behavior. And there are many times I've confronted some of our OSH people and said, no, this is not professionalism. I'm sorry. And that's the truth. I'm not saying you cannot identify hazard and risk in the workplace. I'm not even saying you cannot write a report. I'm not saying you cannot defend health and safety. So technical knowledge is not all about professionalism. It's just one part of it. So many people could be very competent with respect to technical knowledge. So you just know it, but you're not a professional if you do not obey the rules of the game. That's why sometimes when you join professional organizations, that's where you understand professional associations. As soon as you join, in some, they will ask you to stand up and do a pledge. They will ask you to pledge that you will obey the rules. The day you start obeying that rules, you are a sponge from that. So professionalism is beyond. So for some of us that think we are professional because we are very technical, no, that's not professionalism. There's more to it than just the technical knowledge. Please, let's note that very well. Now, let me put something here that I found very interesting, that professionals are people with careers and not jobs. Very deep. That will be another conversation. But I'm sure at some point, maybe today, some people will go into a bit of that. Because you can be professional, and what you are doing is just, you are doing a job. You can't necessarily call yourself professional. You understand what jobs means versus what career means. I think there was a time we had a session, I can't remember the program in this hall, and I was talking about job and career. Just a presentation. on job and career. The differences between them, they are not actually the same. Next slide. Let's move quickly right now. So, okay, so this slide will tell you that, but I won't deal with it so much. So do you know that jobs and careers are not the same? The key thing about jobs is that it's just something you do to meet immediate end, which means money. So, and I've said this and I'll keep saying it. You can be in OSH for 10 years, but it's a job for you, it's not a career. I'll repeat that. You may be sitting here now and you are in this our small industry called OSH industry or sustainability industry, but what you have done for 10 years is that you are just keeping a job. You are not building a career. Because if your emphasis for what you're doing is about what comes back to you on a monthly basis, you're only working a job. You are not building a career. If you set out to build careers, then there are things that come with building careers that you can easily notice. Number one, it's a very long-term thing, and money can never be the motivation. There are rules to keeping a career. So it's only professionals, only people that have careers that call themselves professionals, because you must obey the rules. Every career also has its own rules and regulations. So, and that's a challenge for you if you are here and you are looking at it and asking. This could be very important. I'm sure at some point while you also give this material, they are free. Please share with all the participants if you want to go through it. It's available. So it's not something you need to start writing if you don't want to. You can have it after now. Alright, so, and of course, reward most likely to be a wage or salary, while for career, the reward is your future. So, if you sit here and ask yourself a simple question, in 10 years, where do you want to be? And you don't have an answer to yourself in this OSH, it means you are not building a career. I mean, I made up my mind about being in OSH since 2000. I saw it and I knew right there that this is it. And I have not changed my mind since then. I knew. So it's important. So it takes you knowing it. It takes you really understanding it. I had chances of becoming several other things. And to be honest, if I had gone to some of those things, I can convince you I would have made money, I would possibly have been successful, but I can tell you I wouldn't have been satisfied or fulfilled. So that is the big difference. So what I'm doing today, I'm sorry, I can't trade it for anything else. This is what gives me joy and beauty. Any chance for me to do what I'm doing now, I can't trade it because it's a career, it's long term. How many more years do I need to live? I leave that to God. I want to live long, but as long as that age is progressing, my career must be progressing. I've asked you guys a very simple question on Slido, if you have seen it. I think my question should be one of the first few questions, because I want to get a certificate for this, and my CVD needs to be updated. That's growth, because I'm growing as well. So I've asked them, I hope certificate will be available, because we should get it. If you are taking us through this for one day, that's 8 hours. That should count in what we do. All right, next slide. Do you also know that professions and occupations are not the same? Do you know that you can be in a occupation and you are not in a profession? They are not the same. Again, something for you to think about later. Because many people talk about occupation, and then you step into health and safety. I was going to recruit somebody not too long ago, and I look at the person's credentials. The person has done health and safety, but moved into health and safety as an O level. And after the O level qualification, the person has done some ISPON qualifications as well. So I ask a simple question. This is your 13 years practicing health and safety. Why haven't you picked up any other certifications, qualifications, diploma, or anything aside the fact that you found yourself with WAEC in safety and you have maintained that safety and you are now there? So I told him, I said, you are not a professional. And that's the truth. If you go to where we borrow all of these things from, once you want to come into occupations, they ask you to go the skill way. So you do all the city and guilds and all of that. You are going occupation. You say you want to build a profession, they say you go this way. You need to count a degree, a certificate, a diploma, a HND, OND, anything. So I told him, I said, while I'm not going to give you this job that you are asking for, even though I know you qualify for it, there are levels I expect you to relate with my client. At this level of your relation, you cannot relate with the client, but you can do the job. Now, technically, that guy should have been the manager on the side. I had to give him the supervisor's role. That's real. I'm not an HR. HR people will talk about that later, but that's the way it is done. Because when you go to, because I was expected to go and talk to the client, I was expected to be able to pitch, to discuss. You can't do that. I'm sorry. People don't like university, don't like HND or Polytechnic. That's your headache. You want to be a professional, you should get it. Because it doesn't necessarily mean that's what you're going to do. It only exposes you to the way the world reasons when it comes to professionalism. So, if I had, and all of you here who have ever heard me knows that I'm not working with what I studied for 5 years. But what I learned in 5 years, you know, when they were introducing me now, my sister Prince here said, Abia State, I said yes. There are many things I learned in that state beyond the academics for 5 years. One great thing that I learned today that many of you don't know is the fact that my entrepreneurship was built up in the East. That's where I became a business person. So I possibly have not been business because I was always thinking I cannot be in business. Today, with a lot of businesses around me, I tell people, my friends in the East taught me how to do business. And I picked that as part of my forestry degree. And today I'm excited about it. So you see me, and to be honest with you, my best friends are Igbos. My best friends that I have as like family. Because they taught me what I'm doing. There are some of them I still go to when I want to start business. And I say, what do I need to do? So it's learning. I learned that. Yes, went to MBA. That's just to have a qualification. So professions are not necessarily occupations. They are different. If you look at them, they are so varied. And we move on. Next slide. Let me run now because. So I say professionalism is not the job that you do, technical. It is how you do the job. Please, this will be my summary for what I'm saying today. You want to be a professional, it's not the job, it is the how. How do you do the job? What are those rules guiding the job? What are those tenets, principles that guide that job that you're doing? That's what makes you a professional. And I think sustainability is doing good, be good, and make good. So, because we are also talking about sustainability all across the world. Next slide. So, go next slide. This is not important for me. So, evolution of sustainability in professional landscape. Beautiful, beautiful evolution. If you look at this evolution from the pre-industrial era, you will see how we have moved to where we are right now. So, guys, technically, sustainability is not so new. It's just that it did not come to the attention of everybody. So even for some that say it was 1987 that it first came into limelight, yes, somebody decided to expand it and the person was a voice. And so when the voice spoke, then everybody joined the wagon and we started running with sustainability. But it's been there. People have always known that the way we are dealing with what we have, we will not have it in the next future. So you see the issues of awareness of environmental was limited, but it was there. And then it moves on, up until we got to the 1980s, and people started celebrating CSR. Let's give back to the society. Of course, CSR done in a negative way, by the way. I want to emphasize that as well. The 1990 conferences, early 2000s, then we have the Paris Agreement of 2010, and by 2020, acceleration began. Everybody now is saying sustainability. So you have sustainability catering, sustainability camera, sustainability photography. Everything now is sustainability. So whatever you do now, if you are not adding sustainability, you are not relevant. That's what we see now. You know, I was, in the course of this, of course, I did a presentation for Baija Paint some time ago on a panel, and they talk about sustainable facilities and sustainable city, and how their paints will support sustainable city and infrastructure. Beautiful. Beautiful presentation, and I asked some people there who came to speak. It just wowed me how people are beginning to look at sustainability in everything. By the way, we didn't tie sustainability to one discipline. We say it is meeting the needs of the present without compromising the needs of the future. In what area? In every area. So that means sustainability can be added to everything and anything right now. Because anything that needs to be done in the future must be sustainable. And that's reality right now. Next slide. So sustainability trends and effects on the professions. And this, if you are thinking very well, you're in this room, this slide should matter to you a lot. Because in 2023, there was a global sustainability trends that was done. Thank you. And then I've asked a question here that what do you see? What are you seeing here? Sorry, it may not be very clear with you, but you see several things here. Recycling, production, energy use, technology, waste, agriculture, mining, so many things. And I'm asking, what do you see? That question means you can become any other professional within this field in the next few years. You don't need, you already have a background, so what you need to know is to just switch it on. So when I'm asking you, what do you see? We are very sure that health and safety will not disappear. It only means that some other profession will come up that will be more recognized than health and safety. It's not going to disappear. No, we are going to be relevant. But your relevance is as you move with the trend. So when I saw this myself, I started shaking. That's okay. You have always said that this is the area we are major. You look at that area, it's no longer important now. What are you thinking about now? So I don't know what you are saying, but me, I'm saying a lot here, guys. And I'm asking myself, my CPD or my career growth for the next 2 years is tied to one of the things here that I'm chasing. One of my friends who is seated here met me recently and said, what are you thinking about cybersecurity? I said, please go for it. Please go for it. Oh, but he's a safety professional of more than 15 years, a safety manager. He's seated in this room here, and he said, I'm thinking cybersecurity. I said, bro, this brain cannot do cybersecurity again now. But you, please go. But cybersecurity, big time. That's not going to end. You know why? Because technology is the name of the game, so it's not going to end. So if you have capacity like my younger ones here, you know David and this, and you can crack cyber, you can crack security things. Wow, you don't understand what you have. Please go for it. It's there. What are you seeing? Those days used to talk about specialization. Me, I'm shutting down this specialization now because when I started my OSH, I have to start thinking which area should I key in. So some years back, I went straight to do construction. I went to the UK, studied on CDMS and all of that. I went to construction projects. And that's why I do a lot of the things I'm doing now. And what is going on now? There are businesses writing now that's going to start as a result of what is going on. This is what is going on now. So if you are here now, you want to say specialize in construction, I did that 10 years ago, you are late. There are new things to start specializing in right now. Start thinking, what do you see? Next slide. I got 10 minutes more. Next slide, please. So, sustainability trends and effect on the profession. This is regional. And you see, I want to emphasize on Africa because this is where we are. This is where we are. In Africa, there's a growing awareness of the social and economic benefits of sustainability, such as improving health, education, and livelihoods. So what that means now is that for the next 20 years, guys, we are going to be doing awareness on sustainability in Nigeria. You can write that down. Next 20 years. But awareness does not mean just talking and doing webinar. Because we are going to take this to the informal sector. And when you take it to the informal sector, that is 60 to 70% of Nigerian economy, then you understand what I mean. We are not even tapped in the formal sector. A lot of you guys understand sustainability. Get into some other disciplines, accounts. Go and talk to your friends in account. Talk to your friends in law, in legal, and say sustainability. They say, bros, you don't start again. Those days when I used to talk with some of my friends, and I would say, I want to go and do what I say, Nebosh. Say, Nebosh. This one does not like tongues. What exactly is Nabosh? Do you know some people still come to they say, hey, Dapo, they say I should come and come, but they call it Nabosh. I'm just laughing. So if in this generation, people are still calling Nebosh Nabosh, and these are educated, formal people, then you understand what they're saying outside them. They say a lot. In Africa, don't look at what's happening in Europe, because Europe has gone. In sustainability, they are at least 15, 20 years ahead of us right now. We were in Australia, and you saw something they were talking, I said, my God, where am I?
But you know what I did? I wrote them down and said, this is next 5-10 years in Nigeria, we're going to speed it up. We won't wait for 20 years. See some sustainability things that people are doing, and you're just asking yourself, I'm still telling people to define sustainability. People are gone. So we're 20 years behind. So don't worry. And you can see what they are really doing in Europe. Look at what they are doing. They are adopting the Green Deal. What is Green Deal? Who knows what Green Deal means here? We are still in Brown Deal. In fact, we are doing Red Deal. We don't understand yet. I'm talking about Green Deal. Framework. I was talking to somebody who said, they said, I just want to do this sustainability. I said, let us start an ESG framework for you. He said, bro, what is ESG again? And so people are really doing green everything. Green transportation, green medical, green health. We have not started, so let's look at Africa for awareness. And there are many jobs around that. Many professions coming up around that. Next slide. So, and you can see, look at where everybody's talking sustainability now. I just bring in some traditional professions. Traditional. Engineering. And you see, we talk about sustainable engineering. I say, what? And they have prototypes of what that means. So, you have been an engineer some 5 years ago. I hope our university and the education system will start addressing and responding to that. I'm in the board of Unilag Industry Advisory Board for Faculty of Engineering. In our last board meeting, I discussed this. I said, what are we doing in these labs? I went to one of the labs and I saw some equipment 30, 40 years. And I said, this ain't going to work again. Because that's what is going on. Medicine and health, sustainable health care. Law, I even talking about sustainability in the law. When Dr. Titilola comes, I'm sure she will mention that very well. Business and economics, real estate, agriculture, mining. We have not started mining in Nigeria. If we start today, we're going to be doing traditional mining for 10 years before we start thinking about sustainable mining. The mining we are doing right now is death mining. We are not doing any mining yet. And then you see transportation, sustainable transport. Then let's come to our own home, OSH. Because you think OSH is just the traditional. My very good sister, AK, Professor AK, you know, we're talking not too long ago about what she's trying to do, and she was talking about people moving from traditional paper to digital. And I said, well, it's very good. We're going to start pushing to see people do that. But how many of us are ready? That's sustainable. Paperless, and good technology. So there are many things in OSH that also need sustainability. So it's not just a safety person. Safety is part of OSH. We are leaving you behind. The train is about to move, and we need to get the right things done. Next slide, please. So sustainable drives business, and this is data. 83% value creation is what the research is showing us, that with sustainability, business will drive 83% value. 8% product growth, and 2 times purchasing propensity. That's economics. So sustainability is the game. There's nothing else to discuss. You are not there, you are not thinking it, you are behind. In the future that we're talking about. Next slide, please. Next slide, rounding up now. Influence of sustainability on business, and you can see all the influences that are just from that data, from that research. That's where this comes from. Enhancing reputation and brand value, improving the quality of life and well-being of employees, reducing the risk and cost associated with environmental and social issues, increasing. Oh, I just called her name and she stepped in. Good morning, ma'am. I just called your name. Did you hear your name outside? Oh, okay. Increasing the innovation and competitiveness of the organization, creating new opportunities and markets for products and services that will contribute to the 17 SDGs. I'm sure United Nations and ILO are coming with another improvement on SDG, because from the data, from what I'm reading in research, in another 2 years there's going to be another program from 2030 to 2050. Because we have only met 15% of the SDG goals. 15%. That's what the whole world has met. 15% of a 15 years goal has only been met in 8 years. 9 years now. This is 2024. So 9 years now, we've made 15%. So how can we make the remaining 85% in 6 years? It's not possible. So there's going to be another strategy to take us from 2030 to 2050. In Nigeria, I don't know what percentage we have met. So, but globally, 15%, too low. If you are marking that, that is super failure. There's nothing achieved yet. Next slide. As I round up now, next slide, please. Oh, this is too tight, but basically, this is talking about the future of work and what we need to do about them. So basically, there are things that the future is bringing to us that sustainability is driving, and includes digitalization, technology, work and careers, remote working, remote telecommuting, so many. In fact, I read one that is talking about a country, I think Finland or Sweden, where government now gives, and very good economy, but they still give allowances for people that will ride. So they want to make sure that even though their cars are already going hydrogen, the cars are already going gas, but they are still saying there's still some traces of carbon footprint. So what do we need to do? You have a tax rebate, you have allowance for riding with your neighbor. So don't just put your, and you know the kind of car they ride in that place. Have you visited Europe? You can see 20 cars, and out of that 20 cars, like 80% will be Picanto, Micra, in all those Ibadan vehicles. Sorry, I'm just coming from Ibadan. So if you are from, there's no name Ibadan that we have those tiny things that carry 8 persons, you know, smaller than Keke, but carry 8 persons. That's what they use in the UK. Go to Europe. You'll see few of those in Nigeria, in 5 cars pass 4. If you are not careful, you'll be jeeps. 8 cylinders, 12 cylinders, 6 cylinders. Most people are looking for 1.5 cylinder right now to move around. So, alright, next slide. So that's the future trends. And you can see that on professionalism. So there's a rise of new professions, even in our industry. There's going to be a rise. So you are a professional today, there's a rise. Whatever specialization you want to do, forget about it. Start thinking along sustainability. That profession must have something to do with sustainability. There's a rise in new professions. There's increased diversity and complexity of the workforce and workplace, which means you have to have sustainable mindset. Why do you have 50 people in your workplace if 50% can do the job from their house? Shut it down. Reduce your energy cost. Reduce people moving around. Reduce accident. Reduce risk. There are many things you are reducing. You are just doing that. The impact of globalization and digitalization and innovation, growing awareness and concern for the social and environmental implications of professional work, and then the emergence of new forms of professionalism, such as demanded, prescribed, and enacted professionalism. So there are so many things coming up. That's the trend. That's what sustainability is driving. It's now for you to sit down and move to the next one. Next slide. And let me round up this. So how do we integrate this to professionalism? This is our integration. And Doctor is here again. Proactively engage with the adherence to sustainability related regulations. Guys, regulations are coming in Nigeria. Ordinary plastic, there are 3 regulations that are coming on plastic alone. We are in for it, right? Because the regulation must come. You know, I wish people can drive sustainability by their common sense and church mind or mosque mind. But they are not driving it. So regulation must help us to drive it. Globally, there are laws now. In many countries, I think in the UK, the plastic has been banned completely. In the UK, banned. But Nigeria, we are still bringing our own to the table to allow people to move gradually. So very soon, you will not be able to see plenty plastic on this table. Well, I'm sure the companies that are producing them will also start thinking, what do we do next? I mean, did you see sustainability in Australia? So many things, they are like paper. The straw is paper, the food package is paper, the nylon cup is paper. Almost, you can, exactly, it's like food. You drink and you eat it. It's like flakes, like biscuits. They use a cup to give you coffee, you drink the coffee and you eat the paper. Because it's made like biscuits. Yes, it's like when you are eating those things that children, ice cream. Exactly. That's what they are using to serve people now in coffee. So you see where we are. There's trouble. If you start that one in the factory, the worker will first eat on the place. Okay, so regulations, more sustainable practices, in business, ethical standard, professionalism in sustainability reporting, employee engagement, corporate social responsibility, green practices. These are, every profession should begin to say, what does green practice mean in my profession? What does the law ensure and ask me to do in my profession? Next slide. So future forward, sustainability and professionalism, more demand for skills related to digital transformation, more collaboration and diversity across teams, more emphasis on ethical, environmental and social standards in business practices, and that's governance. Governance. That's the reason why ESG and sustainability in Nigeria today are driven by two professions. You know those professions? The financial and the legal. That go to anywhere and you see ESG, you see a lawyer there, or you see a finance person there. They're not driving it. Because of what we're saying. Ethical. CBN is reading the zone out. The SEC is reading it all out, saying, no, you must do this. I'm following all of those global practices that are saying, this is the way. It's the way it has to go. And you are here as a knowledge person. Let us start thinking, where is my sustainability indicator? Next slide, as I round up this, please. So this is the opportunity. Move on, don't worry, you see the opportunity. And then these are accurate positions. So position yourself for this. You need to know the skills you need. What's your level of competence right now? Seek out opportunity to develop these skills. Take courses online, volunteer, join professional networks. Update your resume and portfolio to highlight your relevant skills. Research potential employers and what they need and network with people in the field in order to stay updated. The information change is unbelievable right now. What you know yesterday is already outdated. So you have to stay glued to what is going on globally. Next slide. So this is your imaginary rules. So in every discipline, and you can write this down, in years to come, but this is what we're seeing in UK now, you just see a position, sustainability manager. Okay, what does it do? Now, I'm looking for JDs for this now, all the JDs I see. You know, some of them are already happening in Nigeria. You have some people now, I have a bank, I think Standard Chartered, they have a sustainability analyst. And I'm saying, what does the person do? He possibly looks at sustainability across all the things that they do. So, these roles don't look real to us yet. These are the next roles for you, especially if you're in the watch industry. Start thinking about it. They are going to move from being environmental scientist, sustainability analyst, manager, engineer, until you become a policy maker. At that point, you are the director or the owner. And thinking and saying, I want to start up this small business. What are the sustainability policies that must guide it? Those are roles that I imagine. They're imagined roles, and we need to take advantage of them. I think I have 2 more slides. Let's go quickly. So this is the competence matrix. You can read this up. But what is key here is for you to know where you are. Other professional skills that you need to pick. General competencies. Within these two, a lot of them are around the soft skills, team working, collaborations, and all of that. Right, go. Let's round up it. So this is the future, 2024 and beyond. What are employers' top hiring challenges? You see what the problem are? Finding professionals with the required skills in sustainability. They're looking for it everywhere. 55%. They're looking for it. 50% are finding good matches with company culture. The challenge. This is what they're looking for. Finding candidates willing to work on site and then meeting candidate salary expectation. So you can see that salary from here to that place. Those are the real challenges that employers are having. I'm sure when our HR comes in, she'll be able to say more about that. So, and that's no job, but the hiring managers are having problems seeing the right persons to fill the role. That's slide. Let me round up now, please. Conclusion. Thank you. So the interplay between sustainability and professionalism is crucial for the future of work and the society. Adapting to 21st century and future challenges require a new mindset and skills, offering opportunity for innovation, collaboration, and well-being. And here I wrote this myself, as if sustainability is the future of professionalism. There is no profession today that you say you are. If you are not thinking sustainability, then you are already outdated. What do you say? You are You're not endemic, but you're already, maybe you are dead before you even started. Because everybody is looking at sustainability in what you are doing. How does this job allow us to guarantee the life of future people that are coming? That is the future. So start thinking, if you are not a safety person here, sustainability is within your profession, because that's the future of professionalism. Thank you so very much, everyone.